materials. There's a set of questions here, and I filled them out, and you can read those stuff later if you want. I'd like to talk about two things about this speech. One of them is the last question. What did you like about this speech? The thing I really liked about this speech, and I'll bet every one of you, if you think about this for a second, have had this experience. Have you ever spoken to somebody who was a serious photographer? Within a few seconds, they start talking about things like f-stops and all kinds of things and different lengths of lenses, and you're just lost. I mean, the idea, to me, the idea behind photography is to end up with pictures. But lots of people who are serious about photography talk about it as if the whole idea is to learn a technical vocabulary and have a whole bunch of expensive equipment. And I was so happy to hear you give a speech about photography where you talked about the pictures, your love of the pictures and the way you see them and what they mean to you and so on. I thought that was tremendously strong. Now that isn't to say that the speech didn't have good content, because it did. The speech, the topic of the speech was photography, but the subject of the speech was actually the way you feel about your photography. And I thought you really did a good job of bringing that through. It's clear it's important to you, you love the pictures, and what you're trying to do is to capture the beauty, the things you see in some kind of concrete form. Now, whether or not that turns out to be profitable, I'm not sure that matters that much to you. I think you love the pictures more than you love the idea of making money off of the pictures. Although if you can make some money, why not? Now, that's the good news. Bad news. What could the speaker have done differently to make the speech more effective? I don't think there is much in terms of the speech about photography that we could have done to make it more effective. It's a deeply personal speech, and that's how it came across to me. But the way you give it, could have been. I was really worried. It started off behind the lectern here, and oh man, she's going to spend the whole time reading behind this lectern. But then you got away from it, and as you got talking about the subject you love, you got very animated, which was great to see. More animated than you've been in the past. However, every now and then, most of the time actually, your gestures were quite low. There were lots of gestures where you'd go like this, and some variation of that. When you keep your gestures low, generally speaking, those are seen as gestures of submission or begging. And you don't want that. In speech, you want your gestures to be assertive, power gestures. If you watch like TV ministers, for example, even if you turn the volume down, or politicians, seriously, ignoring what they say. If you watch how they speak, you will never see them, looking submissive. They're always like this, and like that. You want to do that too. Now, you're not the kind of person who can get wildly enraptured in your gestures and whatnot. It would look phony if you did. But the gestures that you make, try to keep them up, and they will look more powerful and you'll look more assertive. It would also probably be a good idea to move around a little bit. Now, there again, you don't want to get in the habit of, pacing back and forth, but just taking a step or two, say, every time you change paragraphs, would be a way to create a division. In fact, those steps serve the same function as the indentations in a paragraph, making it easier for us to follow. I really like this speech. I thought it was really nice.